This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. This is my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And you know, I get a lot of people asking me, hey, Mr. the Kazdoy Closet, how do you decide which films you're going to talk about? Well, that would be a secret. However, I will say this. A couple nights ago, I was watching a film just for pleasure, and halfway through, I realized, wait a minute, this is film noir. We're still in Noirvember. I need to talk about this film. And so today, we're going to look at the classic High Sierra, the film that made Humphrey Bogart a star. Let's check it out. The film we're going to look at today is indeed High Sierra from 1941. It's in beautiful black and white. It's 100 minutes long. And this is one of those films about a newly released convict who immediately goes right from prison and gets involved in another heist. Only this time, of course, this will be the last time he does it, and then he's going to turn his life around. And also, of course, things don't go quite as well as he planned, as is typical in films like this. This is an interesting hybrid of gangster film, film noir, and Western. In fact, the director remade this film 8 years later as a Western called Colorado Territory, which is included on this disc. The director was Raoul Walsh. He was a famous Hollywood director, made all kinds of films and all kinds of genre, ranging from gangster films to dramas to comedies to cowboy films, and had a lot of hits. The star is Humphrey Bogart. Now, I'm going to admit I'm a recent convert to Humphrey Bogart's talents. I am not that familiar with his work. I'm getting more and more into it. I will also admit I've never seen Casablanca. I've tried watching it a couple of times and never made it through. I don't know why. He's very good in this film. He's tough, but he's also soft-hearted. And I was kind of surprised when he first shows up. He has gray hair. And then I learned later that's because his character was patterned after real-life gangster John Dillinger. So far, my favorite performance of Bogart's is in this film by Nicholas Ray, In a Lonely Place. And I think this might be Bogart's favorite film as well. Now, in High Sierra, even though he is the star, he's second billed, as you can see, to Ida Lupino. I love Ida Lupino. I have her set here, which I recommend. She was a great filmmaker and a great actress, really a trailblazer. But she was top billed in this film, even though Bogart's clearly the star and commands the film for various reasons, studio-related reasons, and they loved Ida Lupino and things like that. Also appearing in this film is Willie Bess. Now, Willie Bess I've talked about before. He was in a film called The Ghost Breakers with Bob Hope. And when he shows up, it's pretty cringy. He is a black man, and he's doing one of those black stereotypes where he's sleeping all the time and his eyes are popping out. And he is mainly comic relief. A lot of black performers back then, their roles were in menial jobs, such as they played maids or porters or busboys. In this film, Willie Best is a ranch hand. But Hattie McDaniel, who played the maid in Gone with the Wind, once said, "I would rather play a maid in the movies and get that kind of pay than be a maid in real life and receive those low wages." So, one way to look at it. The screenplay for High Sierra was co-written by the great John Huston, who went on to become a very good director, of course. He met Bogart on this film, and they worked together for several other films after this. In fact, later the same year, Huston directed Bogart in The Maltese Falcon, which had a big impact on Bogart's career. They also made Treasure of the Sierra Madre together and The African Queen. And I do want to mention one of my favorite film noirs that John Huston directed called The Asphalt Jungle, worth checking out, starring the great Sterling Hayden. High Sierra holds up very well. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a little bit dated, especially with the Willie Best performance and character. And it's a little sentimental at times. But there's also a subplot involving a girl who has a club foot, very innocent girl. And that takes a surprisingly dark turn. And that was quite unexpected and quite interesting. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. But as I said before, Bogart is magnetic in this. He commands the screen. And there's a surprisingly high body count too. Though of course they can't show that much because of the production code. So what's on this disc? There's a lot. It's a Criterion Collection disc, 2-disc set. There's a documentary about the director that's 90 minutes long. There's a documentary about Warner Brothers gangster films that focuses on Bogart. I do have an old Warner Brothers gangster film collection that has all the classic films on there, like Little Caesar with Edward G. Robinson and White Heat with Jimmy Cagney. And then there's The Petrified Forest also that featured Bogart in a smaller role, but that got him a lot of notice as well. There's also a documentary about Bogart that's an hour long featuring his son. There is that remake of High Sierra I mentioned called Colorado Territory, and that's on this disc as well. That's why there's 2 discs to carry all this stuff. There's a documentary about Willie Bess. There's a documentary about W.R. Burnett, who co-wrote the screenplay with John Huston and who wrote the novel that High Sierra is based on. So where can you see High Sierra? Well, you can always buy it. The Criterion Collection discs are 50% off right now at Barnes & Noble, and Amazon usually matches that price. You can always rent it, and I would guess you could probably find it through your local library or order it through your local library since this film has been around so long. So High Sierra, good time. Check it out, and hope you like this video. Feel free to leave a comment or a suggestion down here. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.